Good morning. Good evening. This is Rashad Mitchell coming to you live from my YouTube channel as I continue on my part series, The Week That Was College Football History Review, the 1970 college football season for October 3rd, 1970. Let's get into it. Mississippi, number 17 in the country, beat Alabama, number 17 team in the country, 48-23, throwing 3 touchdowns and running for 2 more. Starting quarterback Archie Manning led number 7 Rebels to only their second victory over Alabama in 60 years. Ole Miss wide receiver Vernon Studdard also started scoring a 100-yard kickoff return and 8-yard reception. Now, Crimson Tide quarterback Neb Hayden and for injured Scott Hunter flipped touchdown pass in each of the second, third, and fourth quarters, but could pull Bama no closer than 26-17. North Carolina, the number 19 team in the country, beat Vanderbilt 10-7. Uncharacteristic fourth down gambles by North Carolina coach Bill Dooley paid off in fourth quarter as Dooley's Tar Heels trailed 7-0 with 11 minutes remaining and hungered to complete 95-yard march for the score. Dooley by pass, fullback field goal opportunity on 4th and 5 at Vanderbilt 16-yard line. Instead, wingback Louis Jolly got open at 8-yard line. Took quarterback Johnny Swafford short rollout pass and shook off tackle for touchdown. And Swafford completed 7 of 8, 89 yards on North Carolina's long touchdown drive. Now Heels kicker Ken Craven's 18-yard field goal won it with 5:36 to play after Jolly caught another fourth down pass for a 14 yards to 8-yard line. Now in the second quarter, the Commodores quarterback John Miller and forward injured Watson Brown had found fullback Bill Young for 25 and 15-yard catches and completed 83-yard shorty, a 23-yard touchdown pass to tight end Carl Weiss, who benefited from crisp block by wide receiver Kirk Chesley. Mandy's quick defenders twice gained fumbles inside on 10-yard line. Number 9 Michigan beat Texas A&M 14-10 after stopping early. Michigan thrust Texas A&M converted a strong run game that was led by fullback Don Neal. Had 99 yards on 17 carries and 10-yard touchdown run by halfback Steve Burks, who had 70 yards on 15 carries and touchdown for stunning 10-0 lead in the second quarter. Trailing for virtually the entire game, the Wolverines needed 63 yards drive for a winning score with 3 minutes left. Michigan coach Bo Schembechler returned to scrub fullback Fritz Seifert, who had 64 yards on 12 carries and hammered 45 yards on 7 carries on the march on the drive. For Michigan, quarterback Don Moore had 7-yard touchdown rollout to the left side, capped a 62-yard drive and spoiled Aggies' determined upset bid. It had taken Aggies defensive back Dave Ellendorf's punt fumble at his 8-yard line well into the second quarter for Michigan to get back in the game. Tailback Billy Taylor scored on fourth down plunge. Next, West Virginia, the number 14 team in the country, beat Indiana 16-10 as the winless Hoosiers limited nation's leading offense with less than half 298 yards and 602 yards early season average, held Mountaineers fullback Pete Wood, country's leading rusher, to only 44 yards rushing on 21 carries. But West Virginia inherited 6 turnovers, most notably Indiana sub quarterback Ted Noakes fumbled at his own 13-yard line late in the third quarter. Wingback Jim Braxton soon accepted first of his 2 touchdown passes from quarterback Mike Sherwood to break 3-3 tie. Indiana managed to tie it at 10-10 on halfback John Motil's 25-yard dash. Mountaineers halfback Bob Gresham counted for 27 of 62-yard drive to set up Braxton's 35-yard clinching touchdown catch. Iowa State, the number 1 team in the country, beat Duke 34-10. For nearly the entire first half, the Duke Blue Devils connived to spring upset of number 1 Iowa State. Duke led 3-0 on kicker Dave Pugh's 38-yard field goal in the first quarter and was intent on adding touchdowns when second goal at the 1-yard line of the Buckeyes. Buckeyes defensive tackle Mark DeBell snatched loose ball out of air as tailback Bob Zerko tried to power over goal line. Blues still clean punt to a 3-point lead as fullback punter Steve Jones tried to punt Buckeyes deep in their end of field in half minute of the second quarter. Ohio State defensive tackle Ralph Holloway blocked Jones' punt, and defensive end kicker Ken Lutner corralled high-hopping ball for 55-yard touchdown return. Now, the Buckeyes came to their senses in the third quarter as halfback Larry Zelina caught 10-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Rex Kern. And Kern, who had 113 yards rushing on 13 carries, and fullback John Brockington, who had 117 yards on 28 carries, scored short touchdowns for a 27-3 lead, and Duke coach Tom Hart used afterward on what might have been our people gave maximum effort on all except 4 plays to fumble the block kick and 2 plays where the Rex Kern got away for long gains when we had him tracked. So the Methodists beat Northwestern by a score of 21-20. Wisconsin beat Penn State, number 16 team in the country, by a score of 29-16. So unaccustomed to losing was Penn State that suddenly couldn't stop downward trend. The Lions were plagued by 6 turnovers, but their defense trapped Budge's quarterback nailed Graff 14 times for 99 yards. Graff fired 68-yard touchdown to tight end Larry Mielik in the second quarter. Larry Mielik, the tight end, had 142 yards on 3 carries. 142 yards receiving on 3 catches. Penn State's quarterbacks like Bob Parsons and Chuck Cooper each found in Greg Edmonds with touchdowns, and teams found themselves in a 16-16 tie entering the fourth quarter. After Badgers defensive back Danny Crooks interception, Graff whipped 26-yard touchdown over the middle to wide receiver Terry Whitaker, and followed later with another touchdown bomb to Mielik. Nebraska, the number 6 team in the country, defeated Minnesota by a score of 35-10. The Big Ten, once unparalleled in outside conference play, lost its 14th straight game to Big 8 opponent as Nebraska bucked 23 miles per hour win in the first quarter, still slammed over 3 touchdowns on way to 28-10 halftime lead. Wingback Johnny Rogers capped 77-yard move at the opening kickoff with 6-yard touchdown run. Minnesota fullback Ernie Cook provided brief side with 45-yard touchdown run. The Cornhuskers countered with tailback Jeff Kennedy's touchdown run. Next, Nebraska kickoff hung high and win, and on rushing golfers tackle Bart Buto on receiving squad couldn't hold it. Defensive back Joe Blala could cover for Huskers at Minnesota 34-yard line. Halfback Joe Aderna took the pitch out 3 plays later and flipped 14-yard touchdown pass to wide receiver Guy Ingles for 21-7 Nebraska edge. Now Huskers quarterback Jerry Taggy scored on a 1-yard sneak in the second quarter and threw a touchdown pass to Ingles in the fourth quarter. Next, Texas, number 2 team in the country, beat number 13 UCLA 20-17. Having taken possession with 46 seconds remaining, Texas was behind by 4 points when it reached Bruins' 45-yard line with 20 seconds to play. The Longhorns quarterback Eddie Phillips lofted blind pass to wide receiver Cotton Springler, who split 2 defenders and scored a brilliant touchdown that somehow preserved Texas' 23-game winning streak. Only 12 seconds showed on the clock. Defensive back Allen Lowry made quick interception to end it. UCLA used 3-4 defense led by nose guard Tim Sterling and linebackers Phil Hendricks and Rob Scribner to hold Longhorns' dynamic triple option ground attack reasonably in the check. Now, Bruins quarterback Dennis Dummett threw for 340 yards, including terrific second half of 15-17 with touchdown passes of 11 yards to wingback Cherry Voronoi and tight end Bob Christensen in the third quarter that gave UCLA a 17-13 edge. Now, Texas had overcome early 3-0 deficit on halfback Jim Burleson, 2-yard touchdown run early in the second quarter. Kicker Happy Feller kicked important 55, 48-yard field goals in the second quarter to extend the Steelers' lead to 13-3 at halftime. Kansas State upset Colorado, number 18 in the country, by a score of 21-20. Wingback Henry Hawthorne amassed 225 yards in total offense, including 75 yards touchdown reception. Late in the third quarter, quarterback Lynn Dickey tossed 2 touchdowns and 2-point conversions to spark the Wildcats. Fullback John Tarver scored 3 touchdowns for Colorado, but late decision to kick for 21-21 tie backfired as kicker Dave Haney missed his first kick in 33 tries. Next, Arkansas, the number 11 team in the country, defeated Texas Christian by a score of 49-14. Traditional Southwest Conference opener for both teams turned into something else that was becoming traditional. Arkansas won going away for his 12th straight victory over the Horned Frogs. Hogs rolled on long drives of 74, 80, 84, and 80 yards, although Razorbacks touchdown machine known as tailback Bill Barnett, who had 93 yards rushing on 22 carries, scored on runs of 13, 4, 2, and 3 yards. But it was quarterback Bill Montgomery who made 2 touchdown trips easy with 62 60-yard bombs to wide receiver Chuck Dickers, who had 150 yards receiving on 6 carries, and John Reeves picked up interceptions off hard-working Texas Christian quarterback Steve Judy. Also made short order of 2 touchdown drives by Arkansas. Judy threw his touchdown pass in the second half to wide receiver Lane Bowen, 5 catches for 74 yards and touchdown, and halfback Lee Harris, while tight end Frankie Grimmett caught 8 passes for 82 yards. And finally, Purdue beat Stanford, the number 3 team in the country, by a score of 26-14. The number 3 Stanford Cardinal apparently paid too much attention to upcoming USC contest and film of Purdue's dreadful loss to Notre Dame. The Boilermakers quarterback Chuck Peavy's outshone Jim Plunkett, completing 15 of 20, 120 yards, passing on 15-20 passing for 112 yards. Stanford's Plunkett threw 5 interceptions, 3 by 2 alert defensive back Randy Cooper. Boilermakers cruised to 16-0 halftime lead as running back Stan Brown scored first of his 2 touchdowns. Plunkett finally scored from 1-yard line midway in the third quarter and added late 44-yard touchdown pass to halfback Jackie Brown. So that concludes a look at Week 4, the week that was college football history review, the 1970 college football season for week number 4. For the games that were played on October 3rd, 1970. October 5th, the number 1 team in the country was Ohio State. Number 2 was Texas. Number 3 was Notre Dame. 4 USC, Southern California. Number 5 Mississippi. 6 Nebraska. 7 Michigan. 8 Air Force. 9 Auburn. 10 Arkansas. The rest of the top 20 rounded out as this: number 11 West Virginia. 12 Stanford. 13 Georgia Tech. 14 Arizona State. 15 UCLA. 16 Missouri. 17 Colorado. 18 North Carolina. 19 Louisiana State. And Tennessee, number 20. So that concludes a look at the games that were played during week number 4, October 3rd, 1970. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the channel. Do be able to smack to tomorrow. Until then, talk to you soon.